So we have one major development when it comes to one of India's most decorated wrestlers and Olympians, and it is Vinesh Phogat. Vinesh Phogat on her Instagram handle has made a big decision. She's done a U-turn on her retirement. And now she is gunning for her dream in the 2028 Los Angeles Olympics that's going to take place. You have to understand that when Vinesh Phogat suffered that heartbreak in Paris, she then decided to step away from the ring because of the trauma that had happened. Remember, she was in the final, but because she was just over in the weight limit that was there, Vinesh Phogat was disqualified, and after several appeals to the Court of Arbitration for Sports, it was absolutely not done, and that is why Vinesh Phogat stepped away. She even fought the elections in Haryana, and because of that, she won it. She's been away from the mat for quite some time, but now wrestling will see Vinesh Phogat back in a big way. Now, this is what she wrote on her Instagram handle. I mean, it is a post that she's written in a big way. It's a long post that she has said, and here it is. People kept asking me if the Paris Olympics was the end. For a long time, I didn't have the answer. I needed to step away from the mat, from the pressure, from the expectations, even from my own ambitions. For the first time in years, I allowed myself to breathe. I took time to understand the weight of my journey, the highs, the heartbreaks, the sacrifices, and I found the truth. I still love the sport. I still want to compete. So here I am stepping back towards Los Angeles 2028 with a heart that's unafraid and a spirit that refuses to bow. And this time I'm not walking alone. My son is joining my team, my biggest motivation, my biggest cheerleader on this road to the LA Olympics. Now remember, Vinesh became a mother in July 2025, and because of that, after winning the elections, she's had time to reflect on what has been at this stage. Now, for people who don't know what has happened with Vinesh Phogat, I mean, let's go back to that fateful day in Paris. She had beaten US Susaki, handed her only loss after 82 competitive games, and she reached the final where she was assured of a silver medal. At least. Gold was also certain because the opponent that she was facing, she had a good record against her also. But just on the day of the final, when she had to do the weigh in, she was overweight. She tried her level best the night before to reduce as much weight as possible, not drinking water, ensuring that all other things, she cut her hair, she cut all the other things to ensure that she attained and gained and ensured she was staying in that weight. But unfortunately, she was just over. And because of that, Vinesh Phogat was disqualified. And the chance to win a historic gold medal was taken away from her. Now, many people are wondering that why did this rule, this draconian rule existed, and what can IOC, the Wrestling Federation of India, what they could have done. They couldn't have done anything because it was in the rules. Rule 9.9 of the weigh-in states that even if you are overweight by 1 gram, you can still be disqualified. Remember, Vinesh was well over that. She was just about 50 grams, if memory serves me right. She was just above 100 grams, if I'm not mistaken, just 100 grams. And because of that, she was disqualified. And that is why, after that, there were tremendous amount of appeals that were sent to the Court of Arbitration for Sports, but unfortunately, it didn't happen. So, Vinesh couldn't get any medal. There was a big parade that was organized in India when she came back. There was a medal that the village themselves prepared and gave her, which kind of looked farcical, but at the end of the day, the rule was broken. And that is why Vinesh Phogat now is coming back. LA 2028, she has to ensure that this is a big development indeed. Now, remember, Vinesh Phogat has not been on the mat for 18 months now. Which weight category is she going to go into? Will she be able to compete in the national trials? Because remember, national trials, then after that, you'll have to ensure that you do well in the World Wrestling Championships that take place, because that is where most of the Olympic quota gets filled in. So the 2027 World Wrestling Championships that take place, that's going to be huge. If Vinesh can qualify for that, and then if she can go through the trials by the ranking and in the national trials, if she succeeds, then she can keep her dream alive. Yes, she's come out of retirement, which is great, but her real struggles begin now because she'll have to go through the whole process all over again. And this time, wrestling is not the major issue. Maintaining weight is the biggest challenge because now it is the end of 2025. She luckily has 2.5 years where she can train, where she can ensure that she maintains the weight. And which category will she be in? That is the most important part. So, yes, huge developments when we look at Indian wrestling at this age. And Dev Pratap Singh Chauhan, Indian athletes also started to make retirement a joke. Agree or not? Look, retirement is the prerogative of the sports person. Let's make one thing very clear here. Retirement is the prerogative of the sports person, and that is why if he or she decides to reverse it, it's only up to her. Only she can, or he or she can take that decision whether to retire and come back from retirement. She wants to win the Olympic gold. She wants to win an Olympic medal because in two heartbreaking circumstances, she's missed out. 16, if you would remember, she had a knee injury which looked like it was career ending. But then she bounced back. She didn't do well in Tokyo. She bounced back in 2024, had an absolutely dream run, beating US Sasaki and winning all the others and ensuring that she had gotten to the final, only to lose out by 100 grams. That is the problem. So that is why in 2028, who knows, if she achieves a medal, it will truly be historic. It will be the ultimate story that many people would never have figured out. But yes, it won't be easy for Vinesh Phogat. She has to go through the whole trial system all over again. Which weight category will she fit into? Can she do well in the World Wrestling Championships where majority of the Olympic quotas get filled in? That is one thing that she'll have to understand at this stage. So yes, Vinesh Phogat coming out of retirement to chase her dreams in Los Angeles, but the journey now is going to be very, very tough indeed. Thank you so much, folks, for joining us for this update. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis.